Welcome and thank you for joining us this morning for the joint meeting of Appleton Downtown Incorporated, the Business Improvement District in Creative Downtown Appleton Incorporated. I am Deb Johnson, current president of Appleton Downtown Incorporated, and I'm delighted you could be with us this morning. The past year brought unprecedented challenges for most. ADI harnessed the power of collaboration and continued to bring awareness, support, and vibrancy to downtown and the members we serve. At the onset of COVID-19, we deviated from our business as usual marketing, events, and community development to business support and promotional efforts that were specific to helping our downtown businesses withstand the impacts of the pandemic, recover, and in many cases, reopen. We kept a focus on safety as we presented farm market, walk events, and article experiences. As we begin our work in 2021, we continue to focus on the changing needs of our downtown businesses and work every day to maintain a clean, safe, and welcoming downtown with dynamic street level activation to welcome back visitors, employees, students, and new residents. We're looking forward to downtown returning as the vibrant and accessible destination for business, learning, living, and leisure it is. I personally would like to thank Jennifer Stefani and her team for working tirelessly, fearlessly, and creatively. And I'm sorry that COVID's got to everybody this past 12 months to help us weather the effects of COVID-19. Thank you, Jeff. And now I'm happy to introduce ADI's Executive Director, Jennifer Stefani.
Thank you, Deb. I'm so grateful for your leadership this past year, for taking my calls regardless of the hour, for me running across the street to come see you. I'm so grateful to have you by my side through all of this, and to all of our board members. Thank you so much for being that leadership team that we very much needed to lean on over the last 12 months. A quick reminder to all of our board members to stay on after the presentation for the voting meeting. And of course, that is open to all of our members and all of our attendees to remain in for the voting meeting. Our annual meeting is a great opportunity to provide a report to the community on ADI, BID, and Creative Downtown Appleton Inc., as well as a brief update on downtown over the last year. We have several sponsors that are with us today that help us do just that. And we're so grateful for our dedicated supporters that have allowed us to continue to be here for all of our business owners and continue to move downtown forward. And thank you to this year's support sponsors for this event, our year-round star supporters, Tundraland and ASCO. You have stood by us through thick and thin. It helped us get through the most difficult year we have seen in a long time. And we want to thank you for that. Also, our longtime supporters with us today, the City of Appleton, Renewal by Anderson, the Red Lion Paper Valley Hotel, Johnson Bank, NAI Pfefferly and Pfefferly Companies, and Hoffman Planning, Design, and Construction. I don't think anybody would argue that this past year was challenging and what a long, strange trip it's been. And Deb said it best when she talked about resilience, and we witnessed it each and every day. We saw business owners adjust and readjust, figure out how to do takeout and how to do online sales. We saw the community trying to rally around small businesses and increase their local spending. And our staff worked daily to share information, to help increase that local spending, and to integrate elements of vibrancy to keep downtown district moving forward. So I want to take an opportunity to thank my team. I gotta keep up with these slides. I'm not used to this. Here we go. I want to thank the ADI team. Its daily challenges over the last 12 months really pushed us. But the bottom line is we love downtown, and we love the amazing business owners, employees, and residents and visitors that we get to work with and for each and every day. We know that together we're going to keep moving it forward, and we're going to keep it one great place. So please help me thank Dewana Hugdahl, Lynn Hardy, Megan Warner, and Sandy Storch. And also, of course, Greg Otis, we miss you. We hope to see you soon. Come back and visit us. And a special thank you to all of the volunteers that helped us through 2020. Flexibility and collaboration was the name of the game last year, and we're so grateful for the many, many, many partners that we leaned on through the pandemic period. Unfortunately, probably too many for me to mention today, but we definitely want to take a moment to thank the City of Appleton. Obviously, we work very closely with all the departments, but we want to say a special thank you to the Mayor and the Health Director, Kurt Egbrecht, for your guidance and your leadership to guide us through safe events and happenings within the downtown. We're very appreciative. And to Monica Stage, Deputy Director of Community Development, for always being our liaison and our champion. The Fox Cities Chamber of Commerce and the Stronger Together partners, the level of cooperation has never been stronger, and it's making us all better. The Fox Cities Convention and Visitors Bureau, a leader in communication in our industry, and also providing amazing financial support with their grant program to our organization, many others downtown and throughout the Fox Cities. You truly make us an outstanding destination. Again, to our sponsors, to ASCO Inc. and Tundraland for your star support throughout the entire year. A special thank you to O'Connor Connective out of De Pere, who brought Downtown Faces Forward program to Appleton. Congrats on your Addie Award, well deserved. And to our friends in the Fox Cities and downtown who raised their hands to help. Julie Gardner, I'm very grateful for your willingness to help coordinate the Appleton features. Ann Wiegman, Marianne Wepfer, our old employees and volunteers coming back to help write those up for us. And local downtown photographer Kim Thiel with Crimson Creative, as well as Image Studios, helping to share those images and to help to tell the stories about the downtown business owners that make this one great place. And of course, a thank you to our marketing partners, Willems Marketing and Events, and Be Connected. It's this kind of level of selfless giving and passionate engagement that makes this community so damn amazing. So thank you to each and every one of our partners. As we continue to align our work with the downtown plan of the City of Appleton's Chapter 14 comprehensive plan, our work remains focused on supporting these 7 key initiatives. This year, we know business retention and attraction are at the top of our priority list. We also look forward to more focused effort to meet the needs of our downtown residents. Our initiatives continue to focus on building a strong brand and support and investment in local spending. Last year's programs, such as Downtown Unite's gift certificate giveaway, retail shop hops, dining takeout events, and Support 920, created a surge of local spending during low traffic times for our members. Our gift certificate program spiked this past year with a 25% increase, supported by our 920 gift certificate incentive program and our golden ticket giveaway. Our media partners were there for us, covering each promotion and raising that awareness. Our image marketing matching grant, supported by the businesses, by the Business Improvement District, had 20 business capitalized on the program. And we're excited to release the 2021 application this afternoon, so watch your inbox. And of course, our work continues to keep downtown clean. It's always been a priority of ours. And we're thrilled to be able to continue that work alongside Riverview Gardens and the City of Appleton. The CARE program helps to provide employability skills training while keeping downtown tidy. We also lend support for the flowers and the planters, pole banners, and other elements that help to make downtown shine. Again, our star supporters not only make the events possible, but they also help us to work behind the scenes to make downtown more welcoming. So please help me welcome Amy Lewis with a message from our star supporter, ASCO. Whoops. Sorry, Amy. Here we go.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm Amy Lewis. I oversee the finance and administrative functions here at ASCO. You may have noticed multiple ASCO buildings around the metro area. I work out of our corporate office, which is in one of the two, we have two of the paper chemistry buildings right across from the Lawrence Gym. So that's where I'm at. This morning, I wanted to extend a huge pat on the back to the ADI crew for all of the many ways they had to get creative and pivot and just generally make the most out of the circumstances that, that we dealt with this past year. With all the ups and downs here at ASCO as a star supporter, we just really admire the many ways ADI remained determined to fulfill the mission of making downtown the awesome place that it is. Many of you probably don't know, I am a fairly recent transplant from a larger metro area. My family and I, we've just really enjoyed taking advantage of everything that downtown has to offer. And from a business perspective, we rely really heavily on all that downtown offers when we're entertaining our clients and recruiting candidates to the area. Just a really quick business update. Here at ASCO, we have two arms to our business, a local pipe and metal fabrication arm, and then we have an industrial construction arm. On the construction side, we generally refer to ourselves as a suitcase contractor because we pack up and go where the work is, which takes us anywhere from Hawaii to Florida and anywhere in between. But for this year and for next year, most of our work is actually right here in Wisconsin, which we're really excited about. And we're really excited to be able to offer our folks the chance to work closer to home and stay here and play here. And we think that means that our folks will be able to take a lot more advantage of everything that, all the downtown fun and everything that ADI is planning. So again, Jennifer and team, thank you for your tireless commitment and making this such a great community to work in and play in.
Thank you, Amy. Again, we greatly appreciate your support, your encouragement. You keep us inspired. So thank you so much. Those creative elements make a big difference. And our district continues to add artistic elements to become a stronger destination that supports a creative economy and an inclusive community. Our highlights this past year included Chalk on the Town, our 2020 Downtown Unites mural. I know, don't worry, there's going to be a new version coming. The artist is already commissioned to make a 2.0 Downtown Unites mural, so watch for that this summer. We hosted plein air style paint out event. We lit the trees in Houdini Plaza, and together with our Downtown Creates partners, we brought a little bit of hope to downtown. A big thank you to our friends at Bolt for your in-kind services and all of our creative sponsors that helped to make it happen. We also distributed 696 creative kid kits with support of our downtown partners and sponsors. And we hosted 68 families for virtual visits with Santa, thanks to our support with Fox Communities Credit Union. Looking forward, we're ready for 2 new murals in the works in downtown. We'll welcome back our musical instruments this year, and we'll expand our monthly walk events April through August to really engage local artists, families, groups, and the general public to create and share their art. Watch for fiber art, garden art, artful chairs, chalk on the town, and more painted windows, giving us all one more reason to take a walk downtown. So many of these projects incorporate creative elements within the downtown. And if you're interested in supporting creative elements or creating a piece for any of those events, we want to connect with you. So please reach out. We want to welcome another one of our creative sponsors and a sponsor of today's event as well. Please welcome Natalie Klicka, Branch Manager with Johnson Bank.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
We can. Good morning,
Okay.
Natalie.
Hi, everybody. Like Jen said, my name is Natalie Klicka. I'm the branch manager here at Johnson Financial Group, downtown Appleton. And I'm also a proud ADI board member. Johnson Financial Group, we've worked over the last year to deliver a high level of service to our clients during a very challenging time. The consumer banking teams have maintained an in-person presence in each of our locations to be able to handle the transactions of our clients. The mortgage team here has closed record levels of mortgages for those taking advantage of the low rate environment for new construction, as well as purchases and refinances. The commercial banking and insurance teams have worked closely with the business plans to manage throughout these unpredictable times. And Johnson's wealth management team has also worked closely through that extreme correction that we had last spring, and then through the rapid and impressive rebound in the financial markets. We couldn't be more proud here at JFBG of how we handled this crazy time and work closely with our clients to manage throughout hopefully this only once in a lifetime challenge that we have. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. We're so appreciative to have our neighbors, across the street neighbors, continue to help us enhance the creative elements downtown. So thank you so much, Natalie. Well, let's talk about some good news looking forward. Let's look forward to coming back downtown, and we are excited to welcome Farm Market back. Our plan is to launch Market on its regular scheduled time, which is typically the week following the Flag Day Parade. So June 19th would be our opening date for Farm Market, and we'll open as an important food distribution center. We'll work alongside of the health department, as we did last year, to establish a layout and guidelines for providing a safe environment to buy food. We have requested to bring back our art and craft vendors, as well as live music and opportunities for our kids market vendors. We love to encourage those young entrepreneurs. So when you're down at Farm Market, seek them out. They'll likely be in Houdini Plaza. And I know we all miss live music. We made it through a year of virtual concerts, thanks to our many dedicated sponsors. But our planning for this year is progressing well, and our hope is to bring live music back to downtown. We're anticipating a delayed start with a July 1st start for the Hyde Music Summer Concert Series. And again, we'll work alongside the city of Appleton to find a safe layout to be able to host live music. Our lunchtime live shows will again go on the road as they did last year. We loved this format and the venues loved it too. So, and outdoor seating venues will have a chance to host our lunchtime live performers. Again, let me be clear by saying our plans are 100% tentative and based on the health of our community. More vaccinations means a better chance for live music, less cases, more live music. So I'm happy to share a message from Dave Willems and the Mile of Music team. So bear with me here. Dear fellow downtowners, we wish you all the best. We will preface our comments about this summer with what we all know, which is that there are no guarantees right now. But the Mile team just returned to work this past week, and we are very much still focused on August 5th through the 8th for Mile 8. There are still hurdles to clear, but trends continue to look favorable, as does the unofficial information from our valued public health officials and local healthcare professionals in regards to a late summer event like ours. We'll be working through a handful of scenarios for Mile of 8 with these same community officials in the immediate weeks ahead, and we hope to have a positive update and announcement during April. Please know that we believe our job is to do everything we can to figure out a way to make something special happen in August. Likely different, but still very special. So please channel your good vibes our way and keep your fingers and toes crossed as we plan a music bounce back for late summer and fall. And remember, vaccinate for Mile 8. That's clever, Dave. I'm gonna give you one. As we explore together the layout for Jones Park and other areas, we have health and safety in mind, and we'll continue to work with the health department to establish good protocol and practices. Pending good health, you can also watch for many of your favorite events to return in the fall: mini golf, craft beer walk, soup walk, and many more. We also have our sights set on the return of the community public market event in November and December. So I would like to welcome our longtime star supporter and regional event sponsor, Brian Gottlieb from Tundraland and Renewal by Anderson.
Good morning, everybody. Brian Gottlieb here, CEO, Tundraland, Renewal by Anderson. Hi, Jen. Hi, everybody. Good to see you.
Morning.
And by the way, Jen, thank you for everything you and your team do. Keeping the community together. I mean, you folks are difference makers. The work you do it's impactful and it's significant, and we appreciate you.
Okay.
So I thought I'd take everybody on a short journey, under an hour. No, short journey about, just want to zoom out for a minute and talk about, where we were a year ago. It's interesting, 1 year ago, and what a difference a year makes. A year ago, 70% of our marketing sources went away overnight. Home shows were closed down. The Milwaukee Brewers, we couldn't activate there. We couldn't do any face-to-face anywhere. And we were trying to determine whether or not we'd even be considered an essential business and allowed to even operate. The other thing we did a year ago is we launched our Singing in the Shower campaign with local musicians. We had them do performances in their own showers, and we put them up on our Facebook page. So we created a virtual tip jar to help them generate revenue during times of uncertainty. A year ago today, the people inside our organization, they didn't know they were about to earn a PhD in crisis management. And I think anybody that survived this past year did so congratulations. The message I tried to give our team on a daily basis is that to communicate with authenticity, because everyone was going to process this time very differently. And, we have to ask ourselves what kind of leaders we want to be during these times. You see, leadership, it's not about title or position. Leadership is simply about influence. People will be scared. People are scared. People will be navigating the unknown. And sometimes the only thing we can do as leaders is simply be caring and be transparent, to communicate like the type of leader that you want to be remembered for. You see, in moments like these and moments like those is when leadership really matters. And in my opinion, it's when culture is truly defined. How we speak, how we listen, how we have to furlough people that we truly care about. These are tough conversations, but these are the things that will truly define our culture, and they'll truly define us as leaders. And you know what I learned? I learned that we have the best team in the world, and I'm super proud of them. I just want you to know that I'm super proud of our team. They're really cool. And their focus has always been, how do we keep our team safe, our customers safe, our supply chain solid, and our culture strong. So I just want to give you a quick update on today. Today, since a year ago today, we've hired over 200 people in the past year. We now have over 550 employees. Business is very strong. We bought a 20,000 square foot building downtown Appleton, not too far from you guys, Jen, just down the road a little bit. So where our Renewal by Anderson operation happens, all the warehouse stuff happens. Windows for a Cause will be coming back this year. We're going to do a cool Windows for a Cause event. We're all going to be singing in the shower on College Avenue. I'm confident of that. And we're going to enjoy the smell of fresh veggies at Farmers Market. And like it or not, our team will be there with $500 Tunderland gift cards, giving them out. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate you. Have an absolutely lovely day.
Thank you, Brian. You always have a way of lifting our spirits and, of course, supporting the community. And thank you for all you do. Continue to keep us motivated. We appreciate it. Thanks, Brian. The partnership between ADI and the Business Improvement District fosters greater impact through our programs and our ability to leverage resources that enhance the district. The impact on downtown businesses this past year was undoubtedly the most challenging we've seen in decades. This past year, we lost some businesses and we gained some businesses. The good news is we gained more than we lost. So our current state, I would say, is best defined as improving. We know that there are still some sectors that are fragile, and yet we are on the rise to pre-COVID status and poised for growth. We had 12 downtown property improvement projects, such as a Coca Coffee, which you see here, Victoria's Restaurant, Green Gecko, RX Link Pharmacy, and more, that took advantage and were supported by our Business Improvement District Facade Grant Program. A total of $47,831.25 was granted this year. The Facade Grant Program in 2020 was again actively partnered with the city's TIF 11 and TIF 12 Business Enhancement Grant programs this year. We'll hear a little more about how that impact happened with Mayor Woodford in a moment. And already in 2021, we look forward to supporting projects like JJ's Laundromat, the 513, and Dryer Wealth Management, and several more. So I'm sure our next guest speaker will agree that these current programs are outstanding tools to help to spur development. So please help me thank the City of Appleton for your partnership and to welcome the City of Appleton Mayor Jake Woodford with some updates on downtown development. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, Jennifer. Glad to be with all of you this morning. And I just want to start off by acknowledging what a tough year it's been. And I want to thank all of you for hanging in there and for helping me understand what you've been going through. I've had a lot of conversations with downtown business owners over the course of the pandemic since I took office in April. And there are a couple of conversations that I'll never forget. And one of them was with a business owner who operates a bar downtown. And this business owner told me about what he was going through and feeling as he just made significant investments in his downtown business, and his hope that he'd be able to make it and get through the pandemic. And it helped me understand a couple of things, which is that people truly pour their hearts and souls into their businesses, that they are deeply invested and care about this community, and that you've faced huge challenges in the course of the pandemic, and challenges that I think were largely misunderstood by policymakers in terms of the decisions that you had to make in terms of operating your businesses and doing everything you could just to stay afloat. And those conversations were so important to me, and I'm so grateful to all of you for the input you've given me, the feedback, because it really has helped shape our approach here at the local level in Appleton, which has all along been about emphasizing education and building community, working together, and doing everything we can to lift up our community and our members of our community rather than demonizing or calling people out. And I deeply appreciate your partnership in that. You know, Jennifer, you mentioned collaboration and cooperation, and I couldn't agree with you more. I'm so proud of our community. You know, we really, I think, came together as a community in a time when so many communities were driven apart. And I think that puts us on such a strong footing as we look forward, that we don't have to go through a period now of relationship repair and working through all of the damage, the interpersonal damage that has happened in other places. We can get going. And I'm really excited about that. That doesn't happen by accident. That's a result of members of our community stepping up, recognizing the role that we can all play. And it's also thanks to community leaders and organizations like Appleton Downtown Inc. Jennifer, you've been an incredible partner to the City of Appleton and an incredible leader throughout the course of the pandemic and always. And we deeply appreciate that partnership.
Thank you.
So as a city, we've been working to support businesses, keep projects moving forward, and prepare for life after the pandemic. You know, it's sort of been a challenging time in terms of managing that balance between focusing on the current issues in terms of the pandemic, but also keeping one eye on the horizon, thinking about what's coming. And that hasn't always been easy. We sent a good chunk of our workforce home, like so many businesses, early on in the pandemic, and a lot of municipalities actually had to delay their permitting processes and keeping things moving. And fortunately, here in the City of Appleton, we were able to find a way to keep those projects and processes moving. And I'm excited about what that means for us as we start to turn the corner here. Jennifer, you mentioned the business enhancement grants, and specifically in TIF 11 and 12, which are the districts that cover the downtown area. And just want to talk a little bit about the numbers, but very briefly. The total TIF investment in 11 was almost $56,000 and about $39,000 in TIF 12. And the numbers are one piece of this, but to me, this has just been such a source of optimism as businesses have continued to look for ways to invest and improve and take advantage of this time that we've been in. And I'm so glad that we have a mechanism to support that financially here in the city. And actually, I was so excited and inspired by these business enhancement grants that I worked with the Redevelopment Authority to create a citywide business enhancement grant program, so that we could offer this kind of support to businesses that aren't in TIF 11 or 12. And we're just so pleased that we've been able to extend that support. And we know how important it's been to businesses in the downtown. And I'm so excited about the investments that so many of you have been making. And I'm excited about the plans that others have. Everybody has plans and everybody has a list. And I'm excited about your plans and your lists. And I look forward to working with you wherever we can to make those things happen. So I appreciate that. I hope everybody's as inspired as I am by those investments. Downtown projects continue to be happening. You know, there are cranes downtown. We've seen a couple of cranes downtown. That's always exciting for us. And I'll just hit a couple of highlights here. But there's lots and lots of projects, and particularly the theme right now is around residential in the downtown area. So Gabriel Lofts, Avant Apartments, Crescent Lofts, 320 East College, Block 800, and most recently announced redevelopment of the former Park Central space. And this residential development downtown is going to be huge for us in terms of really complementing the neighborhood and generating more activity, more economic activity, and just people out and about downtown. So we're excited about all of this. What does this represent right now? It's about 221 total units, new residential units in the downtown area. And you might have heard about this before. There was a 2016 market study conducted, and it projected for 2016 to 2021 demand for about 465 new residential units in the downtown area. So adding these 221 units is really good progress against that. And I know there are other projects in the pipeline that we're excited about, and that will continue to add to that residential growth downtown, which again just supports activity down here and hopefully provides additional business for our downtown businesses, and certainly more active participation in downtown events. I'll talk a little bit about commercial developments and projects in the queue for us. That might be the next slide. So first I'll talk about the downtown north sub-area plan, something I've been referring to as the library neighborhood. So this is the neighborhood directly north of College Avenue. And I've been talking about a neighborhood level study to complement our work on the public library. And this is something we're just in the early stages of developing an RFP on. And we'll be having conversations with property owners, business owners in this neighborhood before anything goes out. The purpose of this planning work is to really think about what is currently in this neighborhood, look at and identify the assets that are currently in this neighborhood. Think about ways that we can build stronger ties between those assets in the neighborhood, and clearly articulate a vision for this area north of downtown in terms of what we want to see as a community for future development, so that we can use that as a tool to convey to developers and entrepreneurs, potential entrepreneurs and developers. This is what we're thinking about for this neighborhood. Here's our vision as a community. So really excited to get into that planning work, but we've got a little ways to go in terms of having conversations with members of the neighborhood. And so there'll be a lot more coming on that. We're drafting a RFP at the moment, and we'll be talking about that coming into spring. So watch for more on that as we move along. So the next slide. We'll talk a little bit about commercial development. This is, of course, the Bluff site. There have been lots of questions about U.S. Venture, what's going on with U.S. Venture. And I have to say, I am really encouraged by the conversations that we continue to have that U.S. Venture's having with neighbors as they sort out their plans for their project. And what this graphic actually illustrates is all of the different property owners in that area. And so this I think just represents the level of complication in terms of the partnerships and the site planning and prep that needs to go into a project like this. And the city of Appleton is standing right beside our partners in this neighborhood and U.S. Venture to support their work as they sort this out. I think this project holds huge potential for the downtown area, and again, I'm encouraged by what I've been seeing in terms of the level of cooperation, collaboration. So we'll talk a little bit about River Heath, which continues to develop, and River Heath, I would say, sort of fits in this broader theme around downtown as a destination. This connects with our recreational investments in the riverfront area. But River Heath has completed their largest project to date. This is the Willows. It's 110 residential units with 23,000 square feet of commercial and retail, and they're actively constructing Poplar Hall, which will be an event space, and looks like they'll be headed for a summer 21 completion for that. So some exciting development down there. I also mentioned downtown and riverfront trail development and recreational investment. And this is something that I think is particularly exciting and a real opportunity for us as a community. We cut the ribbon on the Law Street Trestle last summer, and I think that's really added to the riverfront as a destination. I see lots of people down there just this last weekend, tons of people down there taking advantage of that crossing. And I think it's sort of reframed our thinking about investments in things like trails. We've thought about, I think in the past, trails as something like parks that are passive, that are about recreational opportunities for residents, but I think there's huge potential for these trails and connections to serve as another destination, something that draws people into the community. So we've got big plans for future trail connections along the waterfront, and we're partnering with waterfront property owners along the river to think about their trail connections too. We also have secured a grant from the Community Foundation, from the Nelson Fund, to support an additional river crossing down by the river, and we're making plans for Ellen Court Peace Park. So really excited about those developments, and we didn't even have time to get into the library, but I'm running over and need to get going. Lots more to talk about, but again, I just want to say I so deeply appreciate the partnership from ADI, our downtown businesses. And I'm really excited for the safe resumption of events in the community. Avenue of Ice was sort of a foray into that. And I got to tell you, it warmed my heart to see so many people downtown walking around, even in the cold, to look at those ice sculptures. And it gives me a lot of hope for the summer to come. So thank you so much. Appreciate you having me, and look forward to seeing you out and about in the community.
Excellent. Thank you, Mayor Woodford. We really appreciate all of the work that the city departments are putting in to get us through this pandemic. And certainly we have not lost any momentum on development interest. And that is in great thanks to the tools that the city has put in place and the guidance that the city gives to these developers. So we want to thank you for all that you're doing to keep the engine moving forward. We appreciate it. As we look forward, we continue to be excited about these future developments. The riverfront connectivity, it's critical to the health of our existing downtown and businesses, as well as they are our top priority. The business recruitment grant supported 8 new businesses coming into the downtown last year. We were super excited to invite and welcome all these new businesses and some returning businesses to downtown, like Green Gecko and RX Link and Author's Kitchen and Bar. So a very exciting year for new business openings, despite the situation that we were all in. And I will tell you that the interest from new business to locate in the district is strong right now. It has returned with quick speed. because downtown continues to foster entrepreneurship and we continue to be that premier location for locally owned business. But we do need to encourage our downtown employers to safely bring back your employees. Those employees are critical and oh so important to our downtown ecosystem. So we're hoping that employees start to come back within the district. Yet we know that economic recovery before us is still uncertain, and there are many unknowns as it relates to the future of commercial real estate throughout the country as well. But we're very grateful to have another downtown neighbor, NAI Pfefferly, a division of Pfefferly Companies, with their pulse on this sector. So please help me welcome Manny Vasquez, Vice President of Business Development with Pfefferly Companies. Welcome, Manny.
Thank you, Jen. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Thanks for having me on today. I appreciate your partnership. As Jen said, I'm Manny Vasquez and I work for Pfefferly Companies, a commercial real estate firm headquartered right here in downtown Appleton. This year is very special to Pfefferly because we celebrate 50 years in business, which we're very proud of. But to be honest, it's somewhat bittersweet since it follows one of the most challenging years for many. So on behalf of Pfefferly, I want to thank ADI, Jen and her team for weathering the storm as well as they have. In the thick of the pandemic, ADI was a valuable resource for the Central Business District, providing resources and assistance to businesses of all sizes and keeping our downtown welcoming and safe. As things opened back up more recently, ADI did a great job promoting Shop Local, which I believe played a major role in the recovery and will continue to do so. The commercial real estate market has been uncertain and challenging in many aspects. I could spend an hour talking about stories and different scenarios and deals, but I only have a few minutes. I'm happy to report that there's been an uptick in activity, as Jen mentioned, especially across the retail and office markets, which were the most concerning following pandemic. The size of space that companies are looking for might be smaller. It might look differently, but people still want to provide their employees and their customers a brick and mortar experience across the board. The same is true for the office market. Office users are certainly evaluating their short and long-term space needs, but the office is not dead. We're still talking to folks who are looking for office space. Many of them are looking for a bargain because they know that they have leverage over landlords and owners, but the demand is there and it's picking back up, which is great news. And the mayor talked about this. I don't have to tell you much about the multifamily market. We've all seen the flurry of new apartments coming online, many of them landing in our downtown. Our company manages many of these projects and we're hearing positive feedback from owners and landlords. Those projects are performing well. Right behind me, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a crane for another project on College Avenue. So that trend will continue. While COVID has rocked our region and world in many different ways, let's be grateful that it's a short-term phenomenon. People will still want to live and work in our downtowns in the future and be part of the great momentum that we've seen in the last few years. So thanks again to ADI for your hard work, and I hope all of you and your families have a great 2021.
Thank you, Manny. We appreciate your support and partnership. And of course, happy anniversary, 50 years in business. We're so very excited. And we want to thank you for your generous contribution at the end of 2020. Whew. It was so unexpected. And, you know, as we did our fundraising campaign throughout the year, we were overwhelmed by the generosity of this community. Just amazing. I told myself I wouldn't do that. So thank you. We appreciate all of the support. Let's talk about livability. Our programs help to build a strong economic district, enhancing that walkability and ultimately creating a more livable downtown. We heard from the mayor and we've heard from Manny the continuation of development with residential units within our district, excuse me, and how downtown is quickly becoming the premier place for urban living. In 2020, we celebrated the opening of 54 market rate units with Gabriel Lofts and Avant, 110 units at Willow at River Heath on the beautiful Fox River, and that's just the beginning. In a matter of weeks, we'll see Block 800 debut, featuring 20 residential units as well as first floor commercial space. In fact, I believe there might still be a space available in that development. So watch for the open house event. They're aiming for early April, and we'll make sure to get that out to all of our members. Of course, we have other projects in the works. As you heard, 221 units in development, 69 units at Crescent Loft, 28 at 320 East College opening this summer, with mixed-use development as well, first floor commercial space, and the most recently announced 39 units at 318 West College, or the old Park Central building, planned hopefully for completion by 2022, also a mixed-use development. And we know that there is more to come. So as we continue to grow as a neighborhood, our organization's focus on meeting the needs of downtown residents must also increase. And we look forward to establishing more outreach and engagement with those living downtown. A recent residential survey indicated a desire for elements such as more outdoor seating, more public art. How about rooftop dining? We also heard about their interest in service-based businesses like a public market, workout facilities, or nail salon. And we heard about safety concerns, where there are some areas that need some walkability enhancements, perhaps some additional lighting. Our survey is going to stay open, and we continue to gain that valuable insight so we can create a more livable downtown. We want to welcome another downtown neighbor with us who's well entrenched in downtown development, a longtime supporter of ADI. Please welcome Steve Willey, Vice President of Business Development with Hoffman Planning, Design, and Construction. Morning, Steve.
Morning, Jen. Thanks everyone for being online. Good morning, and can everyone hear me?
Yes.
If I had $1 for every time I heard that over the past year, I think I'd be pretty rich. So, Steve Willey, I'm an architect, and as Jen has introduced, also the VP of Business Development at Hoffman Planning, Design, and Construction. Been here for over 20 years and a former board member of ADI. Hoffman is located right downtown, the corner of College and Morrison, and proud sponsor and advocate for ADI, who's working tirelessly, as we've all heard, to bring downtown back to vibrancy in a not so wonderful 2020. So thanks, Jen and crew, for all you do. As background, Hoffman has been in existence for 129 years. As a professional services company providing planning, design, and construction throughout the country. As a business update and a state of the state for Hoffman, while 2020 was not a good year for many, Hoffman was no exception to that. But with what we did to lead, as Brian was mentioning earlier, we all have to lead during this, but as we led our business over the past year, it's now paying dividends as we enter and have been in 21. It's shaping a very good 2021 for us, and we're hiring because of that. Hoffman has seen large and small impacts for each of our markets during COVID. Those markets are industrial, senior living, religious, K-12 education, and commercial. From trends and perspectives, the industrial and K-12 markets, as well as our religious market, were actually slightly up in 2020. And we're seeing even bigger upticks heading into 2021. Conversely, as Manny mentioned, commercial and actually senior living experienced huge setbacks for us with new work from last year that didn't really materialize. And we really don't anticipate much of a change in 2021. With exception of some of the commercial and some of what Manny was saying earlier with regard to repurposing leases and potential square footage because of that. One thing that we did start in 2020 that's pretty exciting for us is we started a new development company named Hoffman Development Group, or HDG, that focuses on projects and businesses that are located in opportunity zones across the country. As many of you know, much of downtown actually resides in an opportunity zone, and HDG can bring the financing and design construction components to businesses that locate in those opportunity zones. Switching subjects for those wondering, and the mayor went over this a little bit, as you know or might know, Hoffman holds a contract for the U.S. Venture project on the Bluff site. and are contracted to provide design and construction for that new headquarters. You know, when we first started that project, it's got to be 4 years ago, maybe even 5. There were a mountain of issues that we had to get through at that time. And I'm happy to report that we're really down to just 1 or 2 at this point. So to reiterate what the mayor has said about US Venture, our hope is actually to get started at the latter part of this year with design. This is a 3-year project though. So assuming that that does happen, it would put completion somewhere near the end of 2024. So in closing, we look forward to seeing many of you, hopefully receiving the vaccination soon, so that we can be socially responsibly located next to each other rather than socially distanced. And through the help of ADI, we are hoping we can see many of you and get back to near normal happiness. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Steve. We appreciate that update. That's exciting news, and it's great to hear the momentum with projects and with your development company. So thank you so much for sharing and for supporting us and for sticking with us downtown. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
As we look forward, I think we can all agree that downtown is a great place. It is one great place. It will continue to be one great place. And we know that there lies ahead more challenges, and there is still a road that we are on for recovery. But we will unite with our partners, with our downtown neighbors, to position downtown for a swift recovery, and not just a recovery, but growth. And we need each of you to continue to support each other, to spend local, to invest local, to source local, to help keep all of us moving forward. Before I wrap up our updates this morning, I would like to share a message from our partner and landlord, our friends here at the Red Lion Paper Valley Hotel. We absolutely love our location in downtown, and we're so grateful for their support to help us stay in our location. Linda was unable to be with us this morning, but I will pull their logo up. There we go. So a message from Linda Garvey, the general manager at the Red Lion Paper Valley Hotel. She wanted to share that bookings are strong for the fall. They have a small conference booked in April and some corporate groups in April as well. EAA is planned to happen, but will likely be a lighter attendance compared to 2019 and historically in the past. They are taking this opportunity to make some major improvements in the hotel, and believe me, we have seen them, and the dumpster is still outside. And in fact, she thanks us for our patience for having the dumpster outside the hotel for several months. Vince Lombardi's Steakhouse will be reopening on April 1st, and the Orchard is currently open for breakfast. Blaze is open, and the clubhouse will not open quite yet until it is completely refreshed. So watch for a complete new update with the clubhouse. All right, well, thank you, Linda. Once again, we want to thank our star supporters, Tunderland and ASCO, and all of our event sponsors this morning. Thank you for taking time to share an update, not only on your business and your industry, but to share a message that is inspiring for the downtown businesses and for our organization as we continue to work forward and keep looking forward. It doesn't happen without your support. I want to thank our board for this past year. President Deb Johnson, thank you again for always having my back and for taking my calls at all hours. We do have one board member stepping off the ADI board, and we want to recognize Jill Vanderloop with Joseph Shoes for her many years of service with ADI. Jill will continue to stay involved in committee work, but we want to congratulate both Jill and Perry Vanderloop with Joseph Shoes on also celebrating 50 years in business this year. Lots to celebrate this year. Thank you also to the Business Improvement District Board of Directors. We will see Pam Allness step off the board. Again, thank you to Pam for all of her time and talent shared with us over the years for her service on the Business Improvement District Board. Please help me thank these members and welcome our new members as we'll head into our voting meeting here in a moment. For the ADI and CDA board, we welcome Audra Baloff with Poppy Avenue Boutique, and Clean Beauty Bar, both located within Willow at River Heath, and bid board member Benjamin King, downtown resident, and King Brokerage. We're excited to have so many interested nominees this year, and we're really hopeful that we're able to engage those individuals in leadership roles with our committees and keep you in the nomination pool as we move forward. We're grateful for all of that interest. I want to remind the ADI board members and bid board members to stay on the Zoom, please. And of course, the official voting meeting is always open to our members and guests to be a part of. It will take me a few moments to get everybody updated within the Zoom call here. So those of you who are planning to stay for the meeting, please do so. And thank you so much for taking time out of your day to hear an update on downtown and our organizations. I want to thank you all for your support and for sticking together and for supporting each other and being amazing leaders in this community. It's because of you that downtown is one great place. All right, well, give us a moment here to transition. Goodness, I'm trying to find everybody. Bear with me. Whoops. I'm not sure who the phone number is. 737-9399. Board member? Question mark? Not sure.
Jen, it's me.
Oh,
I can hear better through my headphones.
got it. Thank you. Okay. I'm looking to see if I have all the board members promoted to panelists.
Okay. I think so.
Okay. Everybody. Okay. Well, I will keep an eye on that. And we can move into the voting meeting. The chat is engaged. If anybody would also like to use the chat, especially our attendees, you're certainly welcome to do that. Oh, I can't wait for us to all be in the same room together.
I want to be where Jason is. That's where I want to be.
Jason, where are you? I gotta look. Oh, lovely.
I'm in Kara's office, and you'd see her children's artwork behind you, me. So, so I opted for this.
Not sitting on a white sand somewhere.
I was there last week.
Oh.
All right.
Oh. Well, it's good to see everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to our guests for sticking with us here. We will jump into the voting meeting. First, we'll just share a bit of an update on our, still working, there we go, on our annual report. The annual report highlights some areas of work from 2020. Obviously, our large focus on supporting our small businesses and driving spending into the district. Although our event capabilities were very limited, we looked for safe ways to bring people and vibrancy to the downtown. We continue to host farm market and walk events. We brought new public art into the district, and our facade grant programs, recruitment grant programs, all very, very active. In fact, our facade grant program is probably the largest year that we have seen in terms of demand. So continuing to make it a good year, despite all that we went through. So here's a snippet from our annual report. I will jump right in to running through the 2020 ADI creative and bid unaudited year-end financial summaries. At year-end, each of these year-ends have been reviewed and voted on by their corresponding boards. Of course, the bid financials and budget are further approved by City Planning Commission and City Council. 2020 was obviously the most financially challenging year for ADI, at least in the last 18 years that I've been here. Without our revenue generating events, our budget doesn't balance. And without with the additional support of the loan, destination marketing grant, and generous contributors to the Downtown Unites fundraiser, we still ended the year with a deficit of about $43,000. The bid in 2020 has additional carryover funds as it resulted from less maintenance costs invested and less reduced spending on business recruitment. That carryover will be discussed at the April bid board meeting as to where that will be allocated. Creative had a relatively stable year with strong support from our sponsors, as well as a state cultural grant, some support from the Community Foundation as we looked at solutions for a partnership with Milo Music. Milo Music is not obviously listed here as we lost that from our budget for 2020, but more of a loss for our business owners as they came to count on it every year. So relatively solid year for CDA as we continue to do activities and invest in public art. Certainly that grant was a big help to us. I will flip to the 2021 budgets. The bid budget reflects the assessment rate of $2.75 per thousand of assessed value, with a minimum of $275 and a maximum of $5,500. The bid supports marketing efforts, business recruitment activity, beautification and maintenance, as well as the facade grant activity we spoke of, which is already high for this year. We anticipate a need for the portion of that carryover to help to fill the demand for 2021 as well. The 2021 ADI budget reflects a return of events, of course, with a reduced revenue level and not quite yet a full team of employees. We are ready to bring people back safely, but we know that we need to do that cautiously, and that will probably result in limited numbers and will definitely have an impact on our budget throughout the year as well. We did receive PPP early this year, which is certainly a big help, as well as grant support from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, which really helped to change the look of this budget for 2021. The 2021 CDA budget, you may notice, does not reflect activity with Mile of Music, as Mile is pursuing an independent 501c3. So our role and focus will be, of course, to support staff and coordination, and we'll continue with public art projects and the Downtown Creates projects. Are there any questions on either one of these? Please feel free to unmute. If any of our attendees have questions, please use the chat or raise your hand. Otherwise, I will continue to move forward. The collaborative program of work has been voted on by the ADI board, the CDA board, the bid board, as well as City Planning Commission and City Council. So we'll give you a quick overview here. Our focus of work is heavily on these 4 imperatives for advancing downtown's mission and supporting downtown businesses through economic recovery. We'll play a role in retention and recruitment, as we always do, a heightened role this year for reactivating businesses and creating and supporting job creation, bringing people back to work, promoting downtown living options and curating livability enhancements to attract new residents into the district. Got to fill all those new apartments. We'll collaborate with our community partners to reopen our downtown tourism economy, working side by side with the CVB and all of our attractions. We'll increase communication and interaction with downtown business owners to encourage more engagement and cross promotion. Our program of work continues to align with the 7 key initiatives in Chapter 14 of the comprehensive plan with the city. Obviously, neighborhood and residential development being one that hasn't been a real high priority for us, but certainly shifting in our program of work. Riverfront connectivity as well. We have a resurgence of interest in our committee for the riverfront. And right now we're excited to look for more folks that might want to get involved in that riverfront committee. Any questions or comments on the program of work? Okay, we'll move on to some voting items. I apologize, this is so tiny. I probably should have blown this up a little bit. I'm going to ask Deb to help me with this one. This is the ADI bylaw amendment proposal.
Okay. The bylaw amendment is proposed at the recommendation of the Board of Directors from our meeting dated January 26th of 2021 in reference to Article 3, Board of Directors, Section 3. Currently states directors shall serve no more than 2 consecutive terms. The proposed amendment is directors shall serve no more than 3 consecutive terms.
I'll add one comment here that really this change, the intent here is that it does allow for more opportunity for board members as they become more familiar with our work to then enter into a leadership role or align for leadership. Okay, I would entertain a motion for approving the ADI bylaw change as presented. I'm looking for a first and a second.
This is Monica from the City of Appleton.
Thank you,
Okay,
Monica.
I'll be second. If Laura's first, whoever said it, you pick.
Got it. Okay. Any discussion on this item? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, signify with the same sign, and please say your name so I can catch it. And any abstentions, also say your name. Okay. Hearing none, our motion is carried. Okay, next up is our elections of ADI and CDA directors and officers. Like I mentioned earlier, it was a great year for board interest, and we're super excited to have so many outstanding nominees. The ADI board deliberation and recommendation really comes with our intention to cross-represent industries as well as geography of the district, including the riverfront. We have high hopes that the nominees will engage in more committee work, and many of them already have, and then potentially be considered as chair seats for those committees, and then working their way into board seats. So we're very excited about that level of interest. The ADI board nominates a new director, a new 3-year term recommendation for ADI board seat of Audra Bala of Poppy Avenue Boutique and Clean Beauty Bar. And we'll take these separately. We'll do renewing director second. Okay.
This is Monica. I'll make a motion to approve Audra as the new director for the ADI board.
This is Deb. I'll second.
Are there any other nominations from the board that would like to be considered? Any other nominations? I'm supposed to ask 3 times. Any other nominations? Hearing none, we have a first and a second. I will ask for a signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, signify nay, and please say your name. Any abstentions, please say your name. Okay. Hearing none, our motion carries. Okay. Next, the ADI board brings renewing director terms for a vote. Kevin Worth with US Venture, Deb Johnson, Copperleaf Boutique Hotel and Spa, and Steve Lonsway, Stone Arch Brew Pub. Okay, again, I would entertain a motion to accept the renewing director terms.
Motion to approve, Colby.
Second, Natalie.
Any further discussion? Please signify approval with aye.
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 Any opposed, please say name. Any abstentions? Hearing none, our motion carries. Next, we'll move to the 2021 officers. President, Laura Vargasco. Past President, Deb Johnson. Vice President, Lisa King. Treasurer, Steve Lonsway. And Secretary, Tom Klister. I entertain a motion to cast a unanimous ballot for the slate of ADI officers as presented.
Approve, Colby.
Second,
And
Natalie.
Monica.
I got Natalie. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, please say your name. And any abstentions, please say your name. Hearing none, motion is carried. Okay, we will move on to the Business Improvement District Board Nominating Committee report. We will present the bid directors and officers. These positions have already been appointed and approved by the City of Appleton Mayor and Planning Commission and City Council. So we present the following terms: 3-year term renewal with Brad Schwebs with Beverly Companies, 3-year term renewal Marcy Harris, Triumph Engineering, and 3-year term new appointment Benjamin King with King Brokerage. Next is our voting item. Again, bid board members only, please. Election of our 2021 officers. The slate of officers is as follows: Gary Schmitz, President; Jason Druxman, Secretary; Monica Stage, Treasurer. I entertain a motion to cast unanimous ballot for the slate of officers as presented.
First.
Marcy?
I'll second that, Monica.
Monica? Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Please say your name. I'm sorry. Oh, I needed that. Hearing none, our motion carries. there any new business from the floor? Hey, if we're coming to a wrap up, I'll look for a motion to adjourn because technically we haven't done that.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
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 A lot of seconds.
Thought I was the second.
Hope everyone has a good day, good week.
Yes, you as well. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll go ahead and end the event. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Everybody. Nice job, Jen.
Bye. Thank you.